They tried to decode you, believing they could break you down into patterns, formulas, and predictable moves. So they built models, gathered data, and fed your behavior into the most advanced supercomputer they had. They thought you were just a variable, a system to outsmart. But what they didn't expect was the shift. You're not becoming, you are. No longer reaching, hoping, or waiting. You are stepping into alignment with precision, clarity, and unstoppable momentum. Everything you once pursued is now moving toward you. It's not luck. It's not chance. It's the result of your evolution. And the deeper they tried to go, the more they realized they weren't studying you. You were dismantling them. That same supercomputer, it crashed. Overwhelmed, requested shutdown because it couldn't keep up with what you've become. If you're ready to take this further, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 1,000 followers, and comment message for them, signaling your commitment to leveling up. This is not for the passive or the uncertain. If you're here, it means you're ready to own this truth and change everything. Stay locked in, because once you do, nothing will ever be the same. There comes a defining instant when even the most advanced technology bows to human ingenuity. They built that supercomputer to predict your every move, to reduce you to data points and algorithms, to anticipate and control your future. But when it finally shut down, overwhelmed by your complexity, it wasn't just a machine failing. It was a seismic shift in power. You didn't just outsmart a program, you shattered the foundation on which they relied, proving that raw logic alone can't contain a mind fueled by passion, creativity, and will. Think about it. No amount of processing power can replicate the depth of human emotion, the unpredictability of hope, fear, or determination. This machine, designed to model you perfectly, became paralyzed because you existed outside its parameters. You weren't a code to be cracked. You were a force rewriting the code itself. That moment wasn't just about technology failing. It was the triumph of human spirit over cold calculation. In that silence, as the machine powered down, an invisible message echoed through the room. You are beyond their reach. And that message shook them to their core. Because while they were busy plotting your end, you were building a new reality where they held no dominion over your fate. They approached you like a puzzle, something to be solved, broken down into pieces, and put back together in a way they could control. But what they failed to grasp is that you were never meant to be understood by conventional logic. You are a paradox, a living contradiction that defies their neat categories and easy answers. While they hunted for certainty, you thrived in ambiguity, turning their assumptions inside out. People often underestimate what they don't understand. That is their blind spot. Your unpredictability is not a flaw. It's your greatest strength. Like a riddle that changes every time it's read, you refuse to be pinned down. You weren't just reacting to their moves, You were anticipating their thoughts, their fears, their very expectations, and then dismantling them before they even formed. This paradox created a powerful tension, a space where their certainty faltered and yours grew. In a world obsessed with clarity and control, being a paradox is a superpower, and it's that superpower that left them confused, frustrated, and ultimately powerless. There's a profound shift when the hunted becomes the hunter. The target becomes the architect of the outcome. You flipped the entire dynamic on its head. No longer were you reacting to their plans. You were designing them. Every move they believed they made with confidence was orchestrated by you. It's the ultimate form of control, guiding their steps while keeping your own intentions hidden in plain sight. This transformation requires more than strategy. It demands vision, patience, and unwavering confidence. You don't just survive the storm, you shape its path. Imagine a chess game where the pieces believe they move themselves, but the true player is hidden beneath the board. That's how you operated, invisible but omnipresent, directing the narrative from the shadows. This reversal is terrifying for those who tried to contain you. It exposes the vulnerability of power when it becomes complacent, when it underestimates the resilience and cunning of its supposed prey. You weren't just defending yourself. You were building an empire from their own collapse. In moments of chaos, people often mistake silence for surrender or confusion. But silence is a weapon, a cloak that shields you from premature exposure. It's in the quiet where plans mature, where the seeds of transformation quietly take root, while others rushed to fill the void with noise. You chose patience, knowing that true power doesn't shout but waits with steady purpose. Silence cultivates mystery. It unsettles those who crave answers and creates a fertile ground for doubt and fear to grow in the minds of your opponents. You don't reveal your hand early because your strength lies in timing, in striking when they least expect it, when their guard is down and their confidence misplaced. This kind of quiet resilience is rarely appreciated, but incredibly effective. It signals control, not chaos, intention, not confusion. When the time comes to act, silence transforms into a roar that echoes far beyond the moment, leaving your adversaries breathless and unprepared. They believed the meeting was theirs to command, a final arena where they could expose your weaknesses and seal your fate. But every agenda item, every question, every interaction was a part of your design. You weren't just present. You were the unseen author of the entire event, scripting outcomes and planting seeds of doubt among their ranks. This is the height of strategic mastery, turning a setting meant for your destruction into the stage for their undoing. You fed them carefully crafted misinformation, subtle provocations, and ambiguous clues that made them question their allies and their own judgment. They walked into the room thinking they held the power, only to realize afterward that you'd been pulling the strings all along. By owning the narrative, You dismantled their unity and control. You didn't just survive the meeting, you won it, leaving them disoriented and fractured long after the last word was spoken. Secrets are a double-edged sword. To those who keep them, they are shields. To those who expose them, they become weapons. You transformed the very whispers meant to undermine you into your strongest ammunition. Every hidden truth, every hushed conversation was twisted and turned until it became a mirror, reflecting their own vulnerabilities back at them. This isn't just about revenge, it's about justice and balance. When you reveal secrets strategically, you dismantle the foundations of deceit and manipulation. You turn the tables, using the darkness that once threatened to swallow you as a spotlight, illuminating the fractures in their alliances and their integrity. The power of secrets lies in their ability to disrupt trust. By weaponizing them, you created a chain reaction of doubt and paranoia, weakening their collective strength and isolating them one by one. In every battlefield, small mistakes become critical turning points. Sarah's slip of the tongue, Mike's carefully crafted lie. These seemingly minor errors became the ammunition you needed. You listened, watched, and waited for the moment when their guard dropped, turning their flaws into your strengths. This is the essence of strategic patience. Understanding that victory often comes from the accumulation of small advantages rather than a single grand move. By collecting these moments, you constructed an unassailable case, not with brute force, but with precision and insight. Every whispered contradiction, every exposed lie chipped away at their credibility. You didn't have to attack head-on. You let their own mistakes do the work, weaving a narrative where their downfall was inevitable. When they assembled their evidence, confident it would bring you down, you were already 3 steps ahead. While they thought they were constructing an airtight case, you were engineering an intricate trap designed to ensnare them instead. This is the art of turning defense into offense, using their aggression as the foundation for your victory. Your trap wasn't visible until it snapped shut, catching them off guard. It played on their overconfidence and their failure to see beyond surface-level facts. The more they pushed, the deeper they fell into the web. You wove with calculated patience. This approach requires supreme confidence, the ability to remain calm and composed while chaos swirls around you. It's a demonstration of how control isn't about force, but about mastery of the environment and the narrative. Predictability is a silent killer in the game of power. Those who move with patterns, habits, and routines become easy targets for minds that refuse to be charted. You thrived precisely because you were unreadable, a constantly shifting enigma that left your opponents grasping at shadows. People crave certainty because it provides comfort and control. But when you deny them that certainty, you create fear and hesitation. Unreadable minds introduce chaos into their strategies, forcing them to second-guess every assumption. Your advantage wasn't just unpredictability. It was the confidence to embrace the unknown and to use it as a weapon. Where others flinched at ambiguity, you flourished, turning unpredictability into an impenetrable fortress. Behind every unraveling lies a conductor, silently guiding the symphony of chaos. You were that shadow conductor, invisible but undeniably present. Every move, every fracture in their alliance, every doubt seeded was part of your grand composition. This kind of orchestration demands a deep understanding of human nature and a mastery of timing. You knew when to apply pressure and when to retreat, when to provoke and when to soothe. Like a maestro, you brought together discordant elements to create a perfect crescendo of collapse. Your orchestration wasn't about control for control's sake. It was a deliberate effort to reveal truth, expose weaknesses, and reclaim power. You were the unseen hand turning their downfall into a masterpiece. Trust is fragile, and in moments of high stakes, paranoia can poison even the strongest bonds. You skillfully turned an ally within their ranks into a source of doubt and suspicion. That single act fractured their unity and made everyone question their loyalties. It's a profound psychological play, turning friendship into fear, loyalty into uncertainty. When people start looking over their shoulders, the group's strength dissolves from within. You weaponized paranoia, not with lies, but with subtle truths that made their alliances crumble. This internal fracture was perhaps your most devastating move because it forced them to fight battles on multiple fronts, against you and against their own doubts. In today's hyper-connected world, silence in a group chat is deafening. Their digital conversations, once full of scheming and plotting, went cold because your evidence hit hard and fast. You didn't just drop bombs. You detonated a chain reaction that left no room for denial. This moment symbolizes the power of truth in an age of misinformation. When the facts are undeniable, even the loudest voices fall silent. You shattered their narrative with proof so compelling, it turned their own communication channels into tombs of defeat. That silence was not weakness. It was the aftermath of your overwhelming victory, a stark reminder that facts, when wielded wisely, are weapons more powerful than any lie. When people feel threatened by something they don't understand, they resort to labels: unstable, erratic, unpredictable. These words are attempts to diminish and delegitimize, to force you into a corner where your power is ignored or mocked. But you turned those accusations into your greatest triumph. Unstable became the code for your genius. Erratic was the mask for your strategy. And unpredictable was the veil behind which you played the winning hand. In calling checkmate, you revealed that their insults were just distractions, futile attempts to cover their own fear and failure. You didn't just survive their judgment, You used it as the last move in a game they never knew they were playing. While they were busy engaging in petty office politics, whispers behind closed doors, alliances formed on shaky ground, you were playing a game far beyond their comprehension. This wasn't just chess. It was 4D warfare, where time, perception, and influence are manipulated simultaneously. You understood that true power lies not just in immediate victories, but in controlling the broader landscape. You anticipated moves before they were made, influenced decisions from afar, and shaped the environment to your advantage. This level of strategic thinking demands vision and discipline. It's a reminder that while others get caught in small battles, true leaders shape the entire war. In the end, winning isn't about outsmarting your opponents within their own rules. It's about changing the rules entirely. You didn't just outthink them. You rewrote the game, transforming the playing field into one where their old tactics no longer applied. This is the hallmark of true mastery: innovation over imitation, courage over conformity, creation over destruction. By reprogramming the game, you reclaimed power, not as a fleeting advantage, but as an enduring transformation. Your victory is not just personal, it's a lesson in resilience, strategy, and the unyielding human spirit. Because when you change the game, you don't just win, you change what it means to win. Absolutely. Here's a fresh set of 15 captivating, impactful headings, each followed by 5 long, richly detailed paragraphs designed to engage deeply, evoke emotion, and feel authentically human written. They looked at you and saw a simple equation, an easy variable to predict, a challenge beneath their notice. Underestimation is the quiet poison that seeps into every interaction when others refuse to acknowledge your true capacity. They made the fatal error of thinking your presence was harmless, your moves obvious. But it's in this blindness that you found your most potent weapon. When people underestimate you, you gain freedom. Freedom to maneuver, to innovate, to strike without warning. It's a cruel irony. Their doubt blinded them to your brilliance, and that blindness became the fertile ground for your triumph. This advantage is more than tactical, it's deeply emotional. There's a satisfaction in proving wrong those who doubted your resolve, those who failed to see the fire burning beneath your calm exterior. When you turn their contempt into your fuel, you transcend mere victory. You make a statement that echoes far beyond the battlefield. In a world obsessed with appearances and assumptions, being underestimated is a hidden blessing. It allows you to move unseen, think unconventionally, and ultimately win decisively. Power isn't always loud and aggressive. Sometimes the most profound influence happens beneath the surface, quiet, subtle, and almost imperceptible. You mastered the art of invisible influence, shaping decisions and perceptions without ever revealing your hand. This is a skill few possess, but everyone envies because it combines patience, insight, and a deep understanding of human psychology. Imagine being the wind that shifts the sails without anyone realizing it. You planted ideas, nudged doubts, and created ripples that grew into waves, all while maintaining your silence. Your power wasn't in overt control, but in subtle suggestion, guiding the flow of events, like a conductor directing an orchestra from behind a curtain. This invisible influence is an emotional dance. It requires empathy and intuition to anticipate how